Hi friends, I'm Nancy Jacobs from Embroidery It at embroideryit.com, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. You guys are going to make this cute little bee coaster here. You guys are going to stitch right along with me on your embroidery machine. See this in real time? So I'm just going to hold your hand going straight through it, and you'll just be able to see exactly what is happening, and you can stitch with me here. So the first thing you're going to need is the design, and you can get the design at embroideryit.com, and it's free during the month of May here. If you're watching the video during this time, just go over there and grab it, sign up for the newsletter, and the link is in the newsletter. If it's after May, there's always something going on over there, and then the design goes up for sale it's just $1.50, so you guys can easily stitch right along with me. Here's the list of things that you're going to need. You need your 4x4 hoop, and hoop it up with a lightweight tearaway stabilizer. You need 2 pieces of felt. I chose white, cut 5 inches square. Choose any color you want. And you need some scrap pieces of fabric here. So for the bee's wings here, you could use a cotton fabric. I've chosen a little organza. If you have a 4x4 square, you're good to go on that. But if you want cotton fabric, that's fine too. The bee's body is all yellow, and that's black satin stitching there. So you just need a little piece of yellow. 2 by 2 inches or 2.5 by 2.5 is great. And just a tiny piece for the bee's head, tiny piece of black fabric. And then you're going to need thread in the colors to match your felt and your fabric. And the last thing you're going to want is a little bit of tape. I choose to use painter's tape, but you could use regular tape too. That would be fine. I'm going to put my hoop on the machine, and I have white thread already loaded up into the machine because that's the first color we need. It matches the color of my felt. And I'm going to lower the camera so you can see exactly what we're doing here. This video will run about 30 minutes to stitch the whole thing out. What's happening now is it is showing the placement for our felt. So I'm going to take one piece of felt here, get it ready. Okay, now this shows exactly where we need to lay our felt down, and if you want to tape it in place, by all means you can. I just lay it so it's centered over that, and I just hold it in place for a couple of stitches. Felt has a stiffness to it that I really don't have to worry about it puckering or causing any problems. It's just a great fabric to embroider on. This happens to be the acrylic felt, but you can use wool felt or craft felt. And this is the tack down. This is tacking down our felt to our stabilizer. Next, we're going to change the color of our thread to our bee wing color. So the wings are the next thing that's going to stitch. And in all of my designs, I include what's called a thread chart, and you can see what is going to stitch next for each step. And so this is going to show the placement of our wings. Now friends, in the thread chart, it shows red thread for the placement, blue thread for the tack down, and the reason you have to do that is because we have to make your embroidery machine stop so that you can do the next step. Otherwise your embroidery machine would just go, and go, but you really only need to use the thread color that you want for your wings. Okay, I can see where the outline of where my fabric is to be placed for my wings, so I'm going to put it in place. This is a pretty shiny organza. I think it looks pretty for the wings, and this is going to tack it down, and I'm going to watch this rather closely. This is a sheer fabric. I don't want it to pucker on me. tacking down that organza to the felt. Again, you could use a cotton fabric if you like. Okay, we're going to take the hoop off of the machine, but do not unhoop your design. Here's where we're at, friends. You can see where it's stitched around the wings. And what we need to do now is take our little scissors and trim close to that stitching line. Trim all the excess fabric away. Trim around all the little wings. Gone around 2 wings, going around the third, got 4 to go, or 4 total. There we go. Here's what it looks like where we're at. Okay, so we've trimmed the excess fabric. We're going to put this back on, and now what it's going to stitch here is the decorative satin border that's around the wings here. So this is going to take just a couple of minutes here for it to, well, more than a couple of minutes. It'll probably take a good 5 minutes or so to stitch. So while this is stitching, I'm going to raise the, because it's just doing the satin border here. So while it is stitching that, I'm going to raise the camera up so we can see each other and we can chat a little bit here. And it's just going to do its thing. So we're going to let it go. So y'all, these are just another one in the series that we've been doing. This is number 10, and so I said we'd be doing the coasters for a year. We only have 2 more to go. If you want to watch, just right along with me, we usually do it the second Tuesday of the month over on the Embroidery It Facebook page, and I do this demonstration live, so you can ask questions. You know, just feel free to join me over there and stitch right along with me, because it's fun. And use the hashtag #EmbroideryItSewAlong, all one word, hashtag #EmbroideryItSewAlong. And when you do that, then we can find you on Facebook, we can find you on Instagram. So when you post your completed coasters, use that tag and we'll see what everybody's making. And I'll put it in the newsletter too. So here's the others. I'll show you here. Try not to lose these off of my board here. So my gosh, you guys, we started with the apple. I think we did the chicken next, if I remember right. But here's the ones we've done so far. And we did the heart. And whoop, now I'm losing all of them. I showed you how to do the heart with putting your name in it here. I showed you with the present when we did the present, how to add a hanger so you could make it into a Christmas tree ornament. You could make it as a gift tag. That'd be fun. I just think, friends, these are really cute here. You can stitch them, I think, around the hem of a little girl's dress would be absolutely adorable. Around the hem of an apron would be precious. On a baby bib, on your t-shirt. So here's some ideas. If you have these in your kitchen, you could put them on a hot pad or on some towels. On a hand towel, you could put 2 or 3 little bees across and add like a little ruffle or a little ribbon, some coordinating fabric, and just precious. There's just a lot of things you could do. Or you keep it as a coaster. And you can see on this one I use blue, this one I've used pink. The one I'm doing right now is white. So you can make them all the same. You can make different ones, put them together in a group of 4, tie them with a pretty bow, and you have a lovely gift for a new neighbor, for a teacher. You know, listen, it's the end of the school year. Go back here, friends, to the apple one that we did. This was the first one we did. So if you're new to me, you'll find this over at embroideryit.com. It's now for sale for $1.50. And you know, make a set of these for teachers. We did the apple in all different colors. I did a green apple. I think I did a pink apple too. See, but you could get them, make them all the same, make them different, and 4 of them or 6 of them, you guys have a really nice gift that's done just lickety split there like that. So anyway, we're up to number 10, and I actually have, here's number 11. Here's the next one we will be making. I kind of wish, I used black for the seeds, but I think next time I would use brown or maybe a dark gray. I think the black is a little bit harsh, but anyway, this is the next one coming up for summer, because watermelon and summer just go hand in hand. And you all are like me, you've been getting your watermelon already at the store, and we're enjoying it. The Easter egg we did a couple months ago, and I showed you how to put the ribbon on that to make it a hanger. You remember we put the ribbon on. It goes on right before we put the back on. We just would tape it in place, and then we put the back on, and you'll be seeing me put the back on this one in just a little bit. But then when it stitches the border around the edge, then it stitches that ribbon in place, and just a little bow adds a nice touch to it. It's just about finished up here. It's on the last wing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lower the camera, let you finish watching the last wing stitch out, and the next step after the wings is the body. So we're going to get our yellow fabric ready and our yellow thread. Okay. Now, what I need to do here, I'm going to put my yellow thread in. And same as before, it'll first stitch the placement, and then it's going to stitch the tack down. Okay. Okay, that's the placement line of where we're going to put our yellow fabric. Just make sure your fabric completely covers that placement line. And this is just Quilter's cotton fabric. Okay, once again, I need to take the hoop off of the machine, but do not unhoop the design. Leave the design in the hoop. Here, get our little scissors and trim around close. Okay, you can see where we're at. Now, this is a little different than what we normally would do. Normally we would do the satin outline, but we need to do the stripes first before we do the outline. So we're going to change it to black thread. And this is because we want the outline of the design to be on the outside. We want it to be the top thing stitched. You know, like when you're painting, you start with your background and you kind of build up and up and up, closer and closer. It's the same way with when you're building a design. You start with the furthest away first, and then you build up, up, and up. Now, you might ask, well, Nancy, you could have stitched the placement and the tack down with the black thread. Okay, technically, yes, I could, but sometimes, you know, sometimes when you're stitching a satin stitch over, there's always a possibility that it could show through, and I didn't want a black outline really showing through, so that's why I did, instead of having the black all the way around, we did the yellow, and we changed it to black for the stripes, and then we'll go back to yellow. Sometimes it just is best if you do more thread changes. I try to do my best to keep that to a real minimum for you, because it's just not fun to have to change your thread all the time. But you want the design to look right, and so sometimes that just requires that you do just a few more thread changes. And my machine is, well, it's just like one step up off the lowest model. This one does hold a 5x7 hoop. That's the largest hoop size it'll go to, but because it is such a low model, it does not cut the jump stitches. I know many of you have machines that do cut the jump stitches, and that's fabulous. This one does not, so I have to go back and trim those out. Okay. So what we've done here, I'm going to show you because I'm going to trim just a couple of jump stitches real quick. Here's where we're at, and I've got a couple little jump stitches right over here I need to trim off. And this way then, when it stitches the outline of the yellow, there won't be any black that could, you know, that could potentially show underneath. So I'll put this back on, and I'm going to change it back to my yellow thread again. And it will finish doing the satin stitching around the body. Okay, I didn't really show you my little scissors before, but I'll show those to you now. These are little spring action scissors. The other thing I want you to take note of is how this is curved. Can you see that, how it bevels downward just a little bit? Some of them are flat straight across. I like for cutting to have that little curve to it where it curves down. It just makes it just nice and easy to get in there, to get the fabric, and to cut that applique fabric. It gets down in the hoop so much easier than a large scissors. And really, really these are made for snipping threads, but they cut cotton fabric just beautifully, and they're made by all different kinds of people, or all different companies, I should say. And if you just Google spring action scissors or go on Amazon for spring action scissors, this is what you're looking for. You may find them at your local sewing store or at your fabric store as well. And you know what, really they're all good. So these are my favorite go-to scissors here. It's just finishing up around the bee. then the next bit we have to switch back again to the black for the head. Once again, it's because we're building the design upward, and the head is kind of on top of the body, so that's the next bit that we want to stitch. So we'll get our black thread ready again, and we'll get our black fabric ready. Friends, just be sure you're going into your scrap box. This is just a great scrap buster. I don't want you to have to go to the store to find the supplies. I want you just to be able to use what you already have in your fabric stash. Okay, the yellow is done. And we're going to go to the black. So once again, what we're going to have here is the placement line. We'll see exactly where to place our black fabric. I've got just a little thread tail here. There. All right, we'll put our fabric over that placement line. Let it stitch down. Okay, and once again, friends, we're going to take our hoop off of the machine, but do not unhoop. We don't unhoop until we're completely done with the design. And we're just going to trim around the head. Blow away some of the little pieces. There we go. Put it back on, and the next thing it's going to stitch is the head and the antenna. There's one little sometimes my machine doesn't pull the thread to the back side, and it'll leave little tiny bits of thread, and I need to trim those off. So you can see it stitched the antenna. And next it's going to do the satin around the head. So while it's doing that, I'm going to raise the camera up one more time. I've got one more thing to show y'all. There. And so friends, when you're over at embroideryit.com, every week we go through the alphabet, and we have a free letter each week. We're currently up to the letter F, and this happens to be freestanding lace with applique on it. I'm going to put it up even closer so y'all can see it. There. And you can use this as a gift tag. You can use it as a Christmas ornament. You can put it on a backpack or luggage or something, anything that you want to identify with your initial. So we're currently going through these letters. You get a new letter free each week, but you have to grab it the week that it's available. So this is what we're doing right now. Yeah, so just be sure to head over there. I do send a newsletter out each week that lets you know what's available and what's coming up and all the fun things that are happening. So I'll lower the camera again. It's just about finished with its head. And what you want to get ready now is get your second piece of felt and get your tape here. Okay, we're not quite done yet. We're almost there, friends. So here's where, oh, it didn't cut the thread there. There we go. I think my machine is due for a tune-up. Again, do not unhoop your design yet. Keep it in the hoop here. And the next thing we're going to do is turn our hoop upside down. Here's what the back side looks like. So we're going to turn it upside down, and we're going to take our second piece of felt. Now friends, if you're going to put a hanger on and put some ribbon on, this is the time you would tape a piece of ribbon, you know, make a loop and tape a piece of ribbon so you'd have a hanger, and then put your back on. And that way then the back would sandwich the ribbon in between the two pieces to make the little hanger. Then you just need a piece of tape. I cut it, I then tear it into fourths so that I can tape each corner up. And this, friends, you really do need to use tape. Don't try to skimp and go without tape during this portion. Here's what it looks like. So we're going to turn it back to the front. Carefully slide it in so we don't disturb the back side. And you can choose whatever color you want for your border. I'm going to choose yellow, just because I've been using yellow on my other bees, and I've been changing the colors of the wings though. On the Facebook Live that I'm doing tomorrow, I'm going to use purple organza and make little lavender wings. So each butterfly will be just, or excuse me, each bee will be just a little bit different, and different yet similar. And that's the thing here, friends. These coasters were all designed to coordinate with one another. They all have that same exact decorative edge satin stitching. They all have the same decorative zigzag border around the edge. So that way you can mix and match these too. You could make several completely different ones and put those together. Here's what we've got going so far, and that's why I'm using yellow here, but like I said, tomorrow's bee is going to have lavender wings to it. And it is just about finished. I hope if you've never tried applique or in the hoop, that this kind of whets your appetite and gives you a taste to want to try to do this, because really, friends, it is so easy and it's fun, and then you're done. So friends, if you wanted to put this on a towel or on an apron or a hot pad or something, you just would eliminate the border stitches. You would on your machine, you would just pass through that step and go to the next color thread. And I think even the basic of basic machines have that ability to advance to the next thread color. So you would just skip any of those that show the border around the edge. You would just skip those and go straight to the bee. And the last thing, I've got my pinking shears here, but you can use straight scissors too. We're just going to finish the edge. Yes, that's it. The stitching is done. The stitching is done. I'll push the machine out of the way. Now that the stitching is done, we can take this out of the hoop. Set our hoop to the side, and then I like to tear away the excess stabilizer. There we go. And then take my pinking shears and trim around the edge. And I like to trim it between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch away. Again, you could use straight scissors. You don't have to use pinking shears. I just want all my bees to be the same, and since I've been using pinking shears on all the others, I want to continue with that. But again, friends, when you do these, post it on Facebook or Instagram and use the hashtag embroidery it sew along so that I can find them. We can all see them. There. You guys, we're done. We're done. I'm going to raise the camera up one more time. This is it. This is it, you guys. Look, I mean, seriously. Okay, 30 minutes. 30 minutes and you've got it done. I mean, how cute, inexpensive, what a seriously adorable gift to give a teacher or anyone. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for joining me. You guys head over embroideryit.com and I will see you next month. Like I said, next month we'll do the little watermelon, and see you all then. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.